Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aris and thank you so much for clicking today's video. Thank you so much, I truly appreciate it. Today, I'm your online BFF for today. Yep, that's your day today, okay? So, today we're gonna talk something. I'm not sure whether it is more is this in a scientific way or in more spirituality? Okay, I don't dang it. Alright, so today you will basically unlock your superconscious mind. Alright, because your mind basically has been surviving for so long that you basically forgot what becomes possible when you finally become deeply aware. Okay, because you see, there is a part of you that already knows more than you think, a part of you that notice things before you basically consciously understand them, and a part of you that knows when something isn't right for you, and knows when it is time to leave. Okay, and a part of you that knows when you are being called to something new, and sometimes you don't hear it because your mind is too loud, your mind is too loud, too many opinions, too many scrolling, too many shit thing inside your brain, too much comparison, too much fear, too much noise, you have spent so much time listening to everyone else, and that you have forgotten what your own mind basically sounds like. But when you become still, you sit still in your room, right? Something begins to happen. You become more aware, you begin noticing patterns, and you recognize what drains you. You recognize what gives you life, and you start seeing yourself more clearly. And perhaps, that is what people mean when they talk about unlocking the superconscious mind. Okay, and not becoming a superhuman, okay? Because there's no another Spider-Man in this among my viewer, okay? There is there? Are there? Okay, but today we are becoming more deeply conscious of who we are. Okay, so your conscious mind is only one layer of you. Okay, here, okay, one layer. And think about how much of your day happens automatically. You wake up, check your phone, right? You check your phone, you brush your teeth, and go to work, go to school, whatever, and talk to people. Come back home, scroll, doom scrolling maybe, or you watch drama maybe, you watch something maybe, you watch the movie, or maybe you watch TV, I don't know. You scroll and then you sleep and you repeat. And somewhere inside all of those, there is a deeper part of you watching. Your deeper part is actually watching you. Okay, I meant it is not the ghost, okay? There's no ghost around you. Okay, so there is basically there's a deeper part of you actually watching, observing you, feeling, learning, and your mind is constantly processing informations that you don't consciously think about it, like the expression on someone's face, the tone in their voice, the feeling that you get when you enter a room, the memories connected to certain places, the patterns that you have basically experienced over and over again. And sometimes your intuitions is simply your deeper awareness putting pieces together before your conscious mind has words for them. And that's why you sometimes says to yourself that, oh, I don't know why, and then blah blah blah, But sometimes something feels different. Pay attention. Not every feeling is the truth, but every feeling is information worth understanding. Okay, because silence is where you hear yourself. All right. The modern world, you see, like, doesn't give you much silence, because there's always something happening around us, like, you know, maybe emails, notifications, messages, videos, you know, you scroll TikToks or whatever, messages, news, opinions. Everyone is telling you what you should want, who you should become, what success should look like, and eventually you become so externally stimulated that being alone with your own thoughts feels uncomfortable. But you see, silence is not like emptiness, right? Because silence is where awareness becomes visible. Okay, wait a moment. I want you to like try sitting quietly for just like 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. No phone, no music, no distractions. And at first, you might feel like, oh, your mind will probably become louder. And you will remember things. You will think about tomorrow. You will replay conversations, and that's okay. Don't fight the thoughts, okay? Observe them. You're not every thought that enters your mind. You are the awareness noticing the thought, okay, that you have in your brain. And that distinction basically like can change your life, right? Because you are not your thoughts. One of the most powerful things that you can learn is that you don't have to believe every thought you have. Your mind might say that, oh, you know what, I feel insecure, you know, like I am not good enough, you know, in whatever that I'm doing. Or maybe, oh, maybe I'm just such a lousy and slow learner. Or maybe I will be always stay stuck in my current circumstances. I will not go anywhere. That's what you told yourself. Yeah, your mind is saying that, and you can observe it. Oh, my life is behind. And then you observe it again. Everybody is judging me, you know, like, oh, I'm not pretty enough. Oh, what if I fail, you know? You see, instead of immediately react, you need to create a space. And inside that space, you have a choice. That's actually awareness. That is consciousness. The more that you practice observing your thoughts instead of becoming controlled by them, the more freedom that you create inside yourself. You stop living entirely from automatic reactions, because you basically begin like responding immediate, you know, like intentionally before you do whatever you want. And suddenly your life starts to change, not because the world changed for you, no, but because, you know what, you basically change. You change the way that you meet the world and how you perceive the world. That's so good, you know. Damn. Alright, because you see, sometimes your intuition like becomes clearer when you heal. Alright, oh, people always say, oh, I am healed, but excuse me, do you even heal internally? That's the thing. Most people, they basically escape, and they did the enough work to do the healing, and they just label themselves as a healed version, but they are not. And you're working on it, okay? If you're listening to this, you are working on it, which is you're better than them, okay? So sometimes, you see, we think that intuition is mysterious, you know, but healing can make your inner world much more clean and clear. Like when you're constantly afraid, you know, like everything feels like a threat. When you're constantly insecure, everything feels like rejection. When you are constantly comparing, everyone else's success feels like evidence against you. And you see, but as you heal, the noise become quiet. Okay, so as you heal, the noise will become much more quiet, because you basically begin like separating fear from intuition, attachment from love, loneliness from genuine connection, ego. You are separating your ego from self-respect, and you become more aware of what is actually happening inside you, and that's so powerful. That is awareness. That is so powerful, because you can't change what you refuse to see. Alright, because the more honestly you understand yourself, the more intentionally you can create your own life. And that's such beautiful things to do. Alright, like, you see, the superconscious state is a deep presence, and maybe like unlocking your superconscious mind isn't about like becoming someone with supernatural abilities. No, maybe it is much simpler. It's being fully present. Yeah, when you're walking, you're actually walking. When you're eating, you're actually tasting your food. When someone is talking to you, you are actually listening to them. When you're alone, you're not desperately trying to escape yourself, but instead you enjoy the company with yourself. You become present enough to notice life, and when you become present, you basically start noticing opportunities that you basically used to overlook it. You notice people, you notice patterns, you notice ideas, you notice possibilities in your life. You notice your potential, you notice your own needs, you notice what feels aligned and which are not, and what doesn't. And life didn't suddenly become more meaningful for you. No, you just simply become more conscious and more aware enough to see the meaning that was already there, that you already had. Okay, so girls, boys, so basically this is like a wake-up call to yourself. Maybe you have been searching for answers everywhere: books, videos, people, spiritual teachings, manifestation, science. But perhaps some of the answers that you have been searching for require you to become like quiet enough to basically like hear yourself, because your mind isn't your enemy, your emotions aren't your enemy. Okay, and your sensitivity isn't your enemy as well. Okay, they are all your informations, they are all your blueprints, and the more conscious that you become, the more wisely you can basically interpret all of them. So tonight, I want you to put your phone away for a few minutes, sit somewhere quiet, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what have I been trying not to know? What I have been avoiding. Jot it down in your book, or maybe you want to go journal. Yes, why not? Don't force an answer, just listen to your inner voice. Maybe nothing comes, and that's okay. Maybe something does come, and if it does, be gentle with what you discover. Okay, because awakening isn't always so like an explosive, a dramatic entrance. Sometimes it is simply the moment that you realize that, oh, I have been like living in an autopilot, and then you choose to wake up. You begin noticing it, because you begin to question, you begin to heal, you begin trusting yourself, you begin living intentionally. Okay, and slowly you become someone who like doesn't simply react to life, you basically participate in it. There is like more awareness like inside you than you realize. There is more wisdom in your experience than you give yourself credit for, and there is a deeper version of you basically like waiting underneath all the noise. You don't need to become a superhuman, you simply need to become more conscious, like, because the moment that you wake up to yourself, you begin like waking up to your life. Yeah, that's such a powerful things to do, you know. Yep. So I know that this is coming to end, and I'm gonna end this video. Alright, so I want you to become aware, become conscious, and once you do that, you can take a consistent action, and I guarantee you can do that. Yeah, that's all for today, and I hope that you guys have a great night and sleep peacefully. Pray, drink water, and feels, yeah, that's it. Yeah, always seek for the best. Yeah, in whatever that you're doing, always think the best case scenario in whatever that you're doing. Alright, that's it, and thank you so much for listening until the end. Yeah, my eyes a bit dry. Okay, that's it. Bye bye.